And we're back, guys. UFC 298 from Florida. This, in my opinion, the fight of the night right here. This is the one to watch. Kevin Holland taking on MVP Michael Page. And in attendance, guys, we have the man himself, DT, Donald Trump. That looks like his daughter. I think her name's Ivanka, something like that. I don't really know. But Trump, I guess they're letting him run for president again. What do you guys think? Now, listen, guys. Look, I can remember a time where Donald Trump was pretty popular in this country. I can remember a time where Donald Trump would go on Capitol Hill and bash all the senators, all the congressmen. He would talk about all the illegal things they would do. And this is not in the 2000s. This is probably like the early 90s, maybe even the 80s, where Trump would go on Capitol Hill and just diss everyone. So, a lot of people don't know about this kind of stuff because if you really follow the media is going to the media paints the picture of how they want you to look. Now, what my perspective is, I don't necessarily judge a person on what they say. I judge a person on what they do, because a lot of times people say stuff, you put a microphone in front of anyone every day, they're going to say something stupid. They're going to say something, that be considered, unpopular. Everyone has their opinions. Everyone's set in their ways. Everyone has their bias. And the reality here is I try to judge people on what they actually do versus what they say. And, I've been following Trump for a while. I can personally say I've seen him on Capitol Hill decades ago trying to help blue collar workers and, talking trash to the senators, exposing them for all the corrupt things they've been doing. Is he perfect? No, he's not perfect. He's a businessman in a capitalistic country. What do you think? A lot of people get on him for, different reasons and not paying taxes. And, the objective is to learn the tax code so you can reduce your taxes. That's what corporations do. They export jobs, to prevent paying their fair share of taxes. So, I think if you follow the media, they will lead you into believing things that aren't necessarily true. Where, a lot of people, when Mike Tyson got in trouble, nobody came to his defense. Trump came to his defense. That was pretty bold for him to stand up and say, look, I think Mike Tyson's innocent. You don't do that if you don't like a particular type of race. Does he say some crazy things? Can he be considered a bigot? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know him personally, but I do know that when you run for president or when you're president, you got to look at people's policy. And I would have to say, going back the last couple presidents, his policies were better than most. If you take a look at some of the executive orders that he's passed, he's passed a lot of executive orders that help Black and brown people. Nobody's talking about that. I think that's why they're really mad at him, to be honest with you. He's passed a lot of policies that have helped brown and Black people. I actually read policy. I understand what helps people. And as a business owner for many years, look, if you talk about getting rid of the payroll tax, you're going to help a lot of businesses. Payroll tax is business's biggest expense. Payroll is the business' biggest expense. If you get rid of the payroll tax, you're going to put a lot of money in the business. The business, they can give out raises. They can invest more in products, marketing. They can grow the business. You don't hear presidents talking about getting rid of the payroll tax. That's helping people. When you're talking about, taking money and putting it into business owners' hands and helping small business. Small business makes up the majority of the jobs in this country. When you're helping small businesses, you're helping the economy, you're helping the community, you're helping the average day mom that has to work a side job at the diner or the small business to make ends meet. So a lot of people, you don't follow the media, right? And I say this all the time. When you hear an 8-year-old kid talking about how much of an idiot Donald Trump is, you can't believe that, right? What does an 8-year-old know about Donald Trump or politics? That's propaganda. So be very careful when you're watching the media. Judge people on the policies that they pass. If you know that African Americans, are getting the worst of, different diseases like kidney disease, and you pass an executive order that helps the care for kidney disease, well, you're helping African Americans out. And not to talk about, and there's a lot. I don't want to get into politics, but you got to do your own research. Candace Owens is here. Now, listen, do I like everything she says? No. But does she say a lot of things that need to be said? She does. She really does. I mean, we're living in a society now where, a lot of people are out of control. And if you say anything that, goes against that agenda, they'll try to cancel you. And do I agree with everything she says? No, but she says a lot of things that make sense and a lot of things that are common sense. Michael Irvin in the building. This guy's always in trouble. What's up with Michael Irvin? I just hope and this is one of my favorite here, Robbery the Brawler Lawler. That's my guy right there. And Michael Pereira. Guys, let's get to this fight here. Like MVP walking out. We got a new showman in the UFC. This guy, did you see him dancing on his way out? Unbelievable. Screaming, yelling. He's an entertainer. Taking on Kevin Holland. A lot of people picking Holland to win this fight. But listen, guys, as a former boxer, I've watched these two fight, and I could see right away who's going to win this fight. And I don't know about Kevin Holland. I think he's a little bit too reserved with his striking. He does let his hands go, but he doesn't really throw with intentions to knock you out. I don't really like his ground game. I don't like his defense. I think he's too he's too, I don't know. He doesn't really take it serious, in my opinion. That's Ivanka again. But the tell of the tape, the older guy, Michael Page, a lot of people saying that he's 5 years older. He's not going to have the stamina. He's past his prime. Listen, guys. The difference between Bellator and UFC in terms of the elite contenders, I don't really think there's much difference. Michael Page, I remember a time when he dominated Bellator. He was their biggest star, and he's got an insane knockout reel. In terms of Kevin Holland, he's fought some really tough guys in the UFC, but I don't think Holland's level is that far ahead of Michael Page. In fact, I don't think it is at all. I think Michael Page is the much better all-around fighter. I gave you guys a pick in this match to take Michael Page as the underdog to win. Would he win? Stay tuned for the next video.